right, folks, we finally made it up. Today is March the 18th, and we actually surprised. I drove on up to the property and surprised my mom and grandma, so they were very excited and, needless to say, surprised to see us. They weren't expecting us. So this is going to be pretty much the spring update for the property. Got some spring chores to do and a couple days to do it. So we're back at the back plot right now, and this is the winter rye that I put down, and it came in exactly like I wanted it to. It is thick, and also kind of encouraged to see there's some clover coming in down there too, and I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the crimson clover, because I went really heavy with the rye, as you can tell, and I went pretty heavy with the crimson as well. Got some chicory is coming up in here, and it actually looks pretty good. It's pretty green. It's standing up straight. Here's some more of that. Yeah, I think that's crimson clover. If I'm not mistaken, the crimson is kind of fuzzy, right? And then the trees. So the trees are going to be about my biggest chore this trip. I am very pleased with how these are looking. This is one of the peach trees, I want to say. I got some buds, and this is the one where the tree from over here fell down into the plot. As you can see, it damaged the cage and it sheared off a branch right here that was kind of growing that way, so I had to just go ahead and prune it off. But it's got some blossoms. All this grass in here. This is rye, and when I broadcast the plot, obviously, there was some overshoot, and so it got into the cage. And because I fertilized those trees, obviously the rye that's in there is taking full advantage. So I'm going to open these cages up one way or the other, and I got some corrugated pipe that I'm going to put down on the tree trunks, and then I'm going to spray that rye or weed whack it. But either way, I want to protect the trunk and make sure that there's no overspray and no damage from the weed whacker. So I'm just going to walk a little bit more of this plot, so just looking from here, there is quite a bit of crimson clover in there. And I'm not going to do anything with this rye until July. I'm going to let it grow all the way up and seed out, head out, do all that stuff. And then I'll take a look at it. I think this is a pear tree. So the mistake I made was not leaving the labels on my trees. This is a pear tree, though. I think that one might be an apple tree. The first one may have been an apple tree, but I cannot remember. Hopefully they'll bear some fruit, and then we'll know for sure. This one looks okay too. I'm gonna fertilize this trip also. So we actually had some so obviously we're in the middle of March, so early spring, but we had a cold snap, and actually still kind of in the middle of it up here, where there's a couple of nights have been down below freezing. That's the only thing I'm worried about with these pear trees. This one was the first one to blossom out. Like, it was fully blossomed, just a ton of white blossoms and flowers on there that you can see. And then we had that cold snap, and I'm hoping it didn't kill them. So I don't really know what I'm looking at. Somebody drop a comment and tell me, like, are these all the petals have fallen off? So what does that mean? Are these done for because of the cold weather, or somebody give me an idea. And there's actually going to be another cold night tonight. So I'm gonna get in these cages, try to get that tubing around there, and then probably tomorrow I'll come through and spray that stuff out. So, but the plot looks okay. hopefully this year, I think this will be the third year for some of this switchgrass and stuff, the original switchgrass that I put in here. Hopefully this is the year that it kind of comes on in and thickens up. You can see some of it is starting to green up down there where it looks like it might be getting warm enough to start growing. So hopefully, like I say, this is the year that it comes on in for me. Same thing with the miscanthus. Hopefully that miscanthus comes up nice and strong over the spring and the summer. So I'm gonna walk over now to the little corridor, little passage between the bedding area I'm trying to get started, and see how that looks. On the cameras it looks pretty green also, so we'll walk over there and see what's up with that. All right, so this is going back into that kind of the quarter that comes off of the plot and goes back into the bedding area I'm trying to get going. And this spot, actually every single night at the same time, there's like 4 does that come in here and eat pretty good. I'm hoping pretty soon they will make their way out into the plot during the daytime. Try to increase some daytime activity around here, but this is, nice and green as well. I'm gonna make some adjustments to this mock scrape also. Got some work to do to that. That's the licking vine, and then that's the scrape right there. And my stand tree, I think I've already shown you, but my stand tree is right there, right here. So I'm gonna take this tree out and take that tree out just so I can have a better shot with the bow. All right, so walking, getting back here to this spot. This is where I've already laid down a couple trees. I want to put down probably like maybe 3 or 4 more. I don't know. Just to kind of, like I say, give them a place to back up to, some structure in here. This was the first larger bedding area, so nothing really. I mean, there's some stuff that's kind of coming up, but it's still really early and still pretty cool also. So not a whole bunch of growth in here, but I'm sure as the weather keeps warming up, stuff will start to come on up, and hopefully thick. So yeah, I mean, can somebody? Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for in here. I'm trying to see if they do come in and out of here, going to the I mean, I know they're absolutely not bedding in here, but if they're coming through here, I don't see many tracks also, so probably not yet. But all these little vines and brambles and all that stuff is turning green again, so it should eventually get nice and thick in here. And I've put down several different varieties of like forbs and all that kind of stuff, wildflowers, stuff that would be food, so they stick around. All right, I got some work to do on the other plot, so I'll bring you guys back in a few. I'm not gonna show you any of the boring stuff, so stay tuned. All right, I made it over to the first side, and it's pretty much what I expected. The rye is pretty thick in here. Can really tell though, there's a difference in the soil quality over here and at the other side. The other side is so much better, and nothing has been done differently. to either side. It just like started out that way and it's always been a little bit better. But can also tell that this side is actually improving very slowly, but it's improving. So that, I believe that's an apple tree. So I think I've got apple, pear, apple, and the trees look okay. Again, over here is pretty much same, all this rye and some oats and stuff that got broadcast into the cage. That one, the bottom there, same thing here. I went ahead and got the tubes on the other side, and I just said the heck with it. I'm still very leery about chemicals in the food plot, and I know there's different schools of thought and everybody's got their opinion. So I actually just went ahead, pulled the cages, tubed them, and then I just by hand yanked everything out, and it took about 5 minutes per tree, so really wasn't a big deal. And I think I'll do the same thing over here. Just a quick, let me check out this blind. All right, so one of my ropes came loose, but this blind is still standing. No rips, no tears. I'm not gonna open it up. No rips, no tears. Still here. And we've actually had, it's actually been some pretty bad weather. Some wind and some rain around here. Sorry, that thing's kind of all over the place. So the blind looks good. Looks like the switchgrass is starting to green up on this side. So hopefully we get something good coming out of that. So I'd love for this to be nice and thick so I can't see from that logging road, and also so they feel a little bit more comfortable in here in the daylight. Quite a bit of clover in here also. Again, I think I'm probably looking at crimson, those little fuzzy heads or fuzzy leaves. There's alfalfa in here also, but I don't know what I would be looking at if it's even started to come up. I'll give it a couple months and see. This is my other apple tree, and this is actually a pleasant surprise. This was the one I was worried about. And it looks like it may want to do okay. Again, we've had that cold snap here. The spring frost really freeze. It's down like in the 20s, low 30s. So I hope that doesn't damage anything. But those blossoms are actually pretty. Yeah. So hopefully this thing might do something. I think after I tube it, because you can tell it's leaning a little to the right. So I think I'm gonna tube it and then string it. You know, I'm not gonna put the string on the tree. I don't want to damage it, but I'll probably put some 550 cord or something around the tube, and then go from, just around here or something, just so that it is a little bit more upright, and hopefully it'll just continue to grow that way. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking. I got some stuff to do on the plot. I'll get these cages pulled, get these trees tubed, get all this junk from inside the cages, and I'll give you a super quick walkthrough when I'm finished. Check it out. All right, stay tuned. Here we go.